Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, baby. Hey, girlfriend. Everyone's favorite guest, my beautiful wife, Sarah, is back with me. So don't get confused. We're just recording in our house. So that's why it says my name and my name on both screens. But we just put the kids down. This is about the only time we get to do this. Sarah wanted to have some fun and record me, ask me some questions about the triathlon that I just did. So, sweetheart, whenever you're ready, let's do this.
Okay, let's jump in. I think probably the best starting place is for you to kind of talk about like the plan for your triathlon. So you had attempted, how many times had you started training for a triathlon before this one? Do you remember?
Man, I think this was my fifth attempt
I think so.
to like really get into it. I've always wanted to do them. They always look super cool to me and like fun and challenging. But now looking back, I should have just stayed with that training because I had a whole lot more time then to like actually train for them than I do now. Like I had to carve out so many random odd times to get this training modality done. I should have just done it back then, but now I think it was way more rewarding at the end having all of y'all there at the finish line. And so I think that was like worth the wait of all of the training and all the years to actually get it done is to have all y'all at the finish line.
Yeah, I do think it would have been great if you had, the first time you had ever wanted to do it, you did the training and you did it on the first attempt. But that's just not that's not life, because it's just
Yeah,
now,
absolutely.
even though it seems like, yeah, it's harder now because now we have three kids. And the reason you didn't do your training before is like, well, I have two kids and have this going on, have this going on. It actually, this training session or whatever, this training period worked out over the summer because you did the majority of your training at the end of the school year and then throughout the summer. And I can't imagine doing all that training in that heat. But we were able to make it work, even though you did great. It did not take a lot of family time away. You be training in the morning, you be
Yeah,
training
well,
at night.
absolutely. Yeah, so like my main training block was, when y'all were asleep. So 5 to 7 a.m. is when, I'd go do the long bike rides or long bikes and runs. I mean, there's not a pool really around here that's open at 5 a.m. I could have gone to the BHP a lot more, the YMCA, but I wanted to swim outside to kind of get used to that. And so a lot of the swimming, y'all would just go play in the pool right next to me and I would get my laps in, or you would go work out and I would swim and then we would all swim after and we kind of made it, a family time. But yeah, the majority of it was when it was still dark and super early in the morning between 5 and 7.
Yeah, so it's really cool because what really had you jump into this specific weekend was that I signed our kids up for a triathlon that was 3 weeks before, which is so funny because Roman, Grace, and Solomon are now 6 and 8, and I have been wanting to get them bikes and to get them riding bikes, but we didn't have bikes, and I'm like, okay, they're too old. They need to be riding a bike now. They need to be riding a bike. This is a childhood memory, and we cannot wait any longer. So before we bought them bikes, I signed them up for the triathlon, and then I told them what a triathlon was, and I was like, does that sound fun? They're like, yeah, sure, Mom. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so officially 4 days before the triathlon, Roman was able to ride the bike on her own. Solomon was riding about 2 weeks before it, maybe 3 weeks before it. Anyway, it was all very back to back to back, and then they did a great job, and then 3 weeks later it was the one you did. So it was a really fun summer with the training and the making it a family thing. I mean, not me. I'm not running a triathlon, but y'all.
Yeah, no, it was fun putting them on a deadline and teaching them how to do something they've literally never done before. But like you have a deadline and it's like pass or fail. They're like, you can do this or you can't do this, and here's your time slot, your timeline to get it done, and you've got to do the work and practice to get it done. And they both rose to the occasion of doing something super hard that they've never done before, and they knocked it out of the ballpark.
They did. And they even, both of them after were like, oh yeah, I want to do another triathlon. That was so much fun, which was really cool, even though it came with some literal bumps, bruises, blood, and tears for both of them. And me. I think I cried in the trying to get them doing all that.
watching your kids fall off a bike is brutal
Running behind them is
because
brutal.
there's nothing you can do. Like you have to, like that's how they learn. Like you can't protect them falling off the bike. Like
Back to
poor
you.
Solomon's hands are
I
right
know
now.
Solomon has still like spots. I popped a blood blister in the middle of his hand last week because he just scraped his hand so much. All right, so you were ready for the triathlon. You did all the training and prepping, and then day of, what was your like feeling? Did you feel prepared going into your weekend, your race day?
Oh my gosh, yes, I feeling prepared 100% because later on the end of training, like I figured out the swim. And so like there's a group around here that does it's the Sunrise Triathlon Club and they, build up to this event. And so they do open invites to things and one of the open invites was an open water swim out in Cross Lake. Well, that's my first open water swim since Wadapalooza in 2015. And so and that was the year I was thinking back, 2015 was the year I taught myself how to swim.
Okay.
When me and Jake were in Shump what's the one over there by Wendy's? The club. Shumpert, yeah. We like taught ourselves how to swim laps in there to
Because
get ready to go swim
y'all
in
did
the
Wadapalooza together, right? Like 2 months before you and I got married.
yes. Yes. And so we did that. Like we taught ourselves how to swim there, swim laps to go get ready to go swim in the ocean in Miami. That was the last open water swim competitively that I've ever had. And so that was very nerve wracking. And so we go out to Cross Lake on this day of practice. I get embarrassed. Like I get buried out there. Of I remember looking up. I'm not even halfway, and the lady on the paddleboard, she's like, "Hey, are you just doing the 600? Or are you doing the 1200?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just going 600." She was like, "Okay, good. I was pretty worried about you." And so, and so doggy paddling, back pedaling, side stroking that, and like getting back to the shore, thinking like, oh my gosh, the real triathlon is in 4 weeks. Like, what have I gotten myself into? This is the first part of it. If I can't get out of the water, this is gonna be embarrassing. Like, so like it's gonna be bad. So, anyways, I was like, okay, 4 weeks. I upped my swimming to 3 times a week for the next 2 to 3 weeks after that, and it finally clicked. And so I was like, I'm finally confident there. I didn't know what I didn't know about the bike. And then the running just took care of itself because, I can run. And so, but yeah, so training, I felt good. I felt prepared, but you just never know what's coming for you.
Yeah, so that was really good. I feel like you did really well in the training. There was right before your click moment in the swimming, we were all at the pool, the kids were swimming, and you were doing laps. And I was like, oh, I need a video. I was sitting out there, so I was like, I need a video you so you can see yourself doing laps. Like, you probably haven't like seen your form and stuff. So I videoed you, and it was like moving this slow. And I was like,
I was going a turtle pace, baby.
oh, no. And so you got out of the water a little later, and we're like sitting on the loungers. And I said, hey, have you seen yourself swim? Like, let me break it to you, baby, but you ain't going very fast. I was a little nervous about this.
Maybe that current's gonna make you go backwards.
Yeah, anyway, it worked out. You did great. Okay, so race day came, you got in the water, and how did you feel during your actual swim day of, in the race?
Yeah. So the first thing is like, I didn't realize how early you had to get up and go do these things. Like our whole family was up at the crack of dawn,
No, we were up at
packing
4:30. It
everything.
was not crack of dawn. The dawn had yet to crack.
Yeah, we had to. Yeah, and so like the whole family's got to get up there and go. And so we get out there and just seeing everybody and seeing like, the equipment everyone has, just the intimidation factor, you're like, oh my gosh, I am about to get embarrassed out here. And so then you're kind of just looking around, seeing what everybody else is doing. Everybody else is getting in the water. So I'm like, I'm going to go get in the water. I'm going to go see what this water feels like. Because everyone has been telling me like this water's so hot. It's in 1st of August. Sometimes they cancel the swim because it's so hot, so on and so forth.
So you're saying
And so
like
I go jump in the
like
water. I'm
people
like,
are warming up.
yeah, people are warming up. And so I get in and I swim to the first buoy or like halfway to the first buoy. I'm like, okay, we're good. Like I got the swim. It's gonna be great. Because looking out into the lake, seeing the buoys, knowing you're about to swim a half a mile is intimidating because you see buoys in the water. You're like, there's no way that's the distance. You're like, there's no way. And so thinking about like the guys doing the Ironman doing a 2.2 mile swim, I can't even imagine that. And so, all the music's going off. We do the national anthem. We're on the beach. We're lining up two by two. And every 5 seconds, you and your partner are going out. Boom, boom, boom. So I finally get to the timing mat. This guy next to me looks like he's done 10 Ironmans. He's like, he's about to just take off.
He's
I'm
like
like, yeah,
two
buddy, you
feet
take
taller
off.
than you. He's huge.
Yeah, like 6'3", slim. I'm like, okay, what are you doing here? Like, you go get in the water and I'm gonna just walk. So it's sure enough, 3, 2, 1, go. That dude takes
Sprint.
off running. I'm like, okay, let me make sure my watch is on. And so turn that on. I like casually get into the water. And then right then I'm like, okay, make the commitment. Don't stop. And I'm like, all right, here we go. So I get in the water. And the biggest thing at that point was making sure I went in a straight line. And so the beautiful thing about that swim is that I breathe out of my right hand side. So every time I could breathe, I could see a buoy. And that was the most comforting thing to me because I knew I was going in a straight line. And so I get to the first turn and I realize I'm a little wide. And so I cut back across and I told myself when I get to the turn buoys that I'm going to flip over, recalibrate my breath, and reset. Boy, was that a mistake on the first because I was in a super good rhythm swimming on that first turn to go back to head back in, and it felt clunky from the middle stretch. It just felt clunky. I didn't know really what was happening. That was when people started to catch me and started to hit me and like pull my feet and like touch my arms. It's kind of weird when you're out there swimming open water and you can't see anything and other people are just striking you and you can't do anything about it because you're all going together. And so about halfway through there, I regained my rhythm and I'm like, okay, we're back to it. And by that time, we're making the turn. So now we're heading back in. We're home stretch. And dear Lord, every time I look up now, I'm being blinded by the sun because now we're coming back into the shore and I'm breathing to the right. And that sun is just beaming in my eyes because I have the, Academy goggles. I don't have any tint on my goggles or like the mirror goggles that you're supposed to have. I'm going with the 15.99 Academy special. All they're doing is just keeping water out of my eyes. I'm like, awesome. Luckily enough, though, that happened to me in the pool about 100 times. So I practiced swimming with my eyes closed. So probably for like 10 minutes, I swam with my eyes closed. And so I would open them underwater, but let's be honest, I was like swimming in a freaking cave. Can't see in that lake. But every time my head would come out or I would turn my head, my eyes were shut. So I wouldn't just keep every 5 seconds just getting blinded by the light. And so that was great. And then this one guy kind of messed me up because he started swimming in a zigzag and just kept cutting me off. So I finally passed him. I'm to the last buoy, and from there it's probably
50
50
yards.
meters to the beach.
Oh, yeah.
50 yard, yeah. And so at that point, this is where I mess up in the swim because instead of just staying focused and staying in a rhythm and getting to the beach, I start looking like every two strokes where I am because I'm so eager to get out of the water because I'm so excited to finish it.
Are you like dropping your
So
feet and
that
trying to
problem,
feel the ground?
yeah, I'm like trying to put my arm out and like dig and see if there's like sand or something right there that I can grab. And there wasn't every time. And so I keep messing my rhythm up. I'm starting to doggy paddle at this point
Did he?
just to like try to stay moving forward a little bit. And then all of a sudden, my left hand grabs some earth and I'm like, heck yeah, I'm done. And so I pop up and I literally walk from that point all the way to the transition area, which, looking back, maybe not the best decision, but it's my first one. I was trying to get my heart rate back down. I was excited. I wanted to take in the moment that I just finished a half-mile swim and we still have 2 legs to go. And so I was just taking my time. People were running past me. Y'all were, cheering me on, having a good time. And I get to the first transition, dry off, get some water, put my socks and shoes on, get my helmet on, get my glasses, get my bike.
All right, well, hold on just a
And
second. The only thing
Where the
about
fun starts.
the only thing about the swims, my only concern for the triathlon was the swim. It's the one thing you've never done. I mean, you run 5Ks, 10 half marathons, like running. You just keep going. You don't stop. And riding a bike is not that big of a deal. You know, you've been doing it since you're 5. Our 6 and 8-year-old did it. I'm like, okay, he can ride a bike. He can run. Like, just don't die in the swim. And so we had like talked about what your pace markers were, huh? Yeah.
I know you're great.
We
Yeah.
had talked about what your paces were, and so you thought, like, I don't know, I can probably do this swim in like 20 minutes. So you got out. So I had started a timer when you went into the water, and so I knew around what time you were supposed to be getting out. So you got out from what I was pacing was 22 minutes, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, if your goal is, if you're within 120 seconds of when you think you're getting out of the water, that's amazing. So I'm like, this is great. Like, we are in the home stretch. You were like at a really good pace getting out of the water. The kids and I are like, Dad's getting on the bike. We're so excited. Sending you off. And so then I just start the timer for the bike part of the race, knowing that's going to take, you know, I'm like, okay, he's got to go, 18 miles. It's going to be about, you know, if he did 7 minutes a mile, it surely is going to be faster than that. So I'm just like doing my calculations, trying to figure out what time you'll be back, letting the kids go swim, play on the beach. And about 45 minutes, I look and I'm like, oh, you know, he should be coming in from the bike pretty soon. He's been biking for about 45 minutes. So I get the kids, we go over to where your bike is, watching people that got out of the water a little before you start kind of pulling in on their bikes. And so I'm like, all right, this is good, you know? And so it's about 50 minutes and you're not back yet. And I'm like, okay, well, let me check and see where he is. And so my app that was tracking you was kind of lagging. There wasn't super great service out there. And so I was like refreshing it. I'm kind of confused because it seemed like you were still really far away. So I'm like, huh.
Yeah, baby girl, I was not even halfway.
So then it gets to an hour and you're not back. It gets to an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes. And I'm like, and then I see a medical cart pull up with a bike on the back. And my heart just like sinks. And this the person driving the cart gets out and is pulling this bike off of the back. And this lady gets out. She obviously had been in a bike collision. And so she comes and she parks her bike and is cleaning up a little bit and heads out for her run. And you're still not back. And Roman Grace says, Mom, do you think Dad's going to be in the top 100? And I'm looking at all the bikes and all the bikes parked. And I'm like, I don't think so, Roman Grace. And she's like, that's not nice to say, Mom. He is going to be in the top 100. And, you know, we had some friends come in on their bikes that we've worked out with. Like when you and I were dating, we worked out with these people. They're like a decade and more older than us. And they got out of the water after you, and they're coming in on the bike before you. And I'm like, something is not right. And we have some other friends there, and they're looking at me, and like, Cody's still not back. Like, no, I'm sure he will be soon. And then those people who finished the bike before you came in, that I'm like, Cody's got 10 years on them. Like, he surely will be in. And then they finish the run, and you're still not back on the bike. Cody, I hit the full-blown panic button. And the kids, so now we have been out there waiting for you to come back 45 minutes waiting for you to come in. What was going on out there?
Oh yeah. So I'm pulling my stuff up right now and I'm looking at my bike time. What's crazy is this has never happened to me in my life. So we'll just start from the end and kind of go back to the beginning. So my bike time was an hour and 29 minutes and 23 seconds. That's dead last. I went 139 out of 139 on my bike.
There was
Like dead last.
139 people in this triathlon, and you came in 139th on the bike.
Dead last. Like dead
The
last.
70-year-old women came in ahead of you on the bike.
Oh yeah. a 90-pound Asian lady rolled by me like I was standing still, like no big deal. I mean, that's not supposed to happen. So, anyways, so go back to my first transition. Everything's great. Get out of the water. Like my training time, I'm supposed to complete this whole thing in about an hour 49, hour 50 minutes. Like that is like my goal. I nailed the swim. I did the swim in 22 minutes because, like I said, I could have probably done it in 19, but I messed up getting in, so on and so forth. So I was going to get on the bike and then I was going to hammer that 5K at the end and I was going to get under 2 hours. Well, little did I know that the bike had something waiting on me and I took an hour and 30 minutes on the bike. So we go out and we're doing the first mile. It's a mile to get out to the main road. And when I tell you these people are passing me like they're in Formula One race cars, and I am in a 98 minivan putt putting this thing. I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, am I going? Like, am I doing something wrong? Like my gears are switched. Like it's pretty flat. Like we're not gaining any hills right now. Like we're just going out to the main road. So we get out to the main road. So we're a mile in. I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's like, there's no turning back now. So we do it. We get out there, and every 2 minutes, people just flying by me. And when they pass me, after about the third person to pass me, I start looking at their face because they all make the same face when they are passing me. Like, oh my gosh, bless his heart, he doesn't know what he's doing. And I'm like, no, no, guys, like I've trained, like I know what I'm doing out here. And y'all just got better bikes, apparently. I have no idea what's going on. And so we're about 4 miles in now. And this little Asian lady, like no offense to Asian ladies, your 100-pound frame is not supposed to roll by me that fast. And she looked at me like, baby, are you in this race? Or are you just out here like taking a stroll to get away from something? And so, and I don't know anything. So legitimately, it takes me an hour and 30 minutes to ride 18 miles that I've trained multiple times, and I did it in an hour, anywhere between an hour and 12 minutes. Like an hour and 12 minutes was my slowest time of going like that distance. Cause I'm the person, like if you give me the distance I'm supposed to do, like I'm gonna go train that way. I don't go under. Like a lot of marathons and stuff, you go under because they don't want you to do that volume and so on and so forth. But like if you give me a fixed number that I know I've got to go train for, well, I'm gonna hit that and then I'll taper off of that. And so I knew what 18 miles felt like. Like I understood. I would get off the bike and I would do my run. Like I was prepared mentally and physically to do it. So at this point, I am all alone. Like all alone. There is no one out there. Like the truck has passed me. He's already picked up cones. Like the other turns where we're going, the truck, the director person has already picked up cones. He's passed me.
No.
Thank God. Thank God they left the cops out there. The cops are out there directing still. And like I'm all alone. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, if something goes wrong, like I'm like you have the tracker on me, but it's gonna take 30 minutes to get out to where I am because I'm literally in the back countries of Benton. It's beautiful, it's a beautiful ride, but I'm literally all alone, just out there, me and God, and fighting some mental demons trying to get back to this race. And so every time I look at my watch, I'm like, they're gonna close the course. Like I'm not even gonna get to run. Like I legitimately thought
Okay, that would have been like a different level embarrassment. Like if they were like, "Sorry,
I would have still ran. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I'm gonna finish.
I paid $180
So yeah,
to be out here."
legitimately, I thought I'm out here for so long. They're gonna police escort me, and like the course is gonna be shut down. They've already given awards. Like I'm that guy. They're gonna be like, "Oh, good job, buddy. Like better luck next." Like they're gonna clap me in. Yeah, and I'm like, "Golly, what is going on?" And so like I'm trying to shift gears. I mean, at one point I don't even care. At one point, I'm climbing, I'm trekking up this hill. I almost start going backwards because like I have zero speed. I have zero speed. I cannot get up this hill. And I'm like turning and turning. I like start going this way, and I'm like, I'm going down. I'm gonna do it. Like I thought I was gonna have to walk the hills and then ride the bike down. Walk the hills. And I told you when I got done when we were talking about it, I was like, I could have just ran a half marathon.
Yeah, you
I could
could
have
have
just
ran
ran.
a half marathon instead.
It might not have been faster, but I probably would have felt better. So, and I have no idea where I'm going. Like that's the scary part. I'm relying on chalk marks or people on side streets telling me, "Oh, turn right. Oh, turn right."
Yeah.
And these poor guys are out there like the volunteers, probably only supposed to be out there for an hour and 10 minutes, been out there for 2 hours waiting on me to get there just to give me a hoorah like, "That a boy, way to do it." And so I get to the last part. It's a right hand turn to go back in, and I see one of my buddies I went to high school with. He's a cop out there, and I'm like, dude, how close am I? He's like 2 miles. I'm like, oh, thank God. So I finally get back in, turn back in to go finish the last mile. That last mile might as well have taken me a whole hour. Going back in, coming back in, this dude, this teenager that's a volunteer, has got the bullhorn, and he's like, "All right, you can hop off your bike, slow down." I'm like, "My pleasure, like my pleasure. Thank you for telling me to get off this bike." But then he says, "Hey man, can I play you my song?" And I'm like, "Absolutely. What you got? I've already been out here. Play me your rap song." Dude plays his rap song through SoundCloud on the bullhorn for me. I'm like, "Dude, that's awesome. I can't wait to hear it on Spotify." So I finally get in, and I see y'all. You're like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Don't know. Something happened." So I'm sitting there, I'm changing my shoes, putting my running shoes on, getting something to
Legs
drink.
feeling after that.
Oh, we're getting there. Hold on, we're getting there. All the like two or three volunteers are coming up to me. They're like, "Oh, hey man, like you're doing good." I'm like, "Shut up! I'm not doing good. Stop telling me the nonsense. I know I suck right now. I can look at the clock." And the 80-year-old Peggy are barely making the 5K, and she's breathing down my neck for second to last place. Not on my watch. Like I'm about to get your butt on this 5K, and I'm not getting dead last. So he's like, "All you got left is a 5K." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I can do that." So I get going around. I look down at my watch. I'm like, boom, 8:30. Boom, we're crushing it. My half mile, 8:30 mile pace. I'm like, yes, this is what I can do. I get to about mile 1 1/4. Right hamstring says, "Not today, buddy." Right hamstring lock. I'm like, oh, someone shot me in the leg. Don't know what's happening. I'm kind of like hopping, limping. Once again, it's just me out there. I'm in the freaking woods, just running. No one's out there. So I'm like, all right, just walk a little bit. So I walk a little bit, start jogging again. Boom, left one goes. So both of my hamstrings, about a mile and a half in, are just completely locked. I have never cramped in my life playing sports, football, baseball, basketball, all the marathon training. I have never cramped in my legs. Like when people talk about it, I'm like, y'all are joking. Your hamstrings cramp? You bitch of babies. How are you cramping in your legs? Well, what I didn't know is riding 18 miles with your gears and brakes locked, trying to drive through that takes a lot out of your legs. So I am walking now, complete walk. Like there is no run, not even gonna try to run, can't run. Both of my hamstrings are completely locked. I'm like walking like I'm a pirate. And I'm glad that no one's out there because it's embarrassing because I'm having to like, I wish I could show you, but I can't. I'm walking like a pirate. So by this point, I'm like 2 miles in. I'm like, okay, we have 1 mile. We have 1 mile to go. We can do this. So I start like jogging a little bit. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Boom, right one goes again. I'm like, oh my gosh. So luckily this dude had like this cold towel. I'll put this cold towel on me, start walking for another 2 minutes. I'm like, you big baby. It's just a cramp. You can finish this. You are going to run and you are going to finish. I'm just like bashing myself because Peggy is breathing down my back. She's coming for last place. She's like, I'm going to get that guy. I don't know if her name's Peggy. I have no idea. And so at that point, I passed the last aid station and I'm like, all right, half mile, got it. Start jogging, let alone my heart rate right now is probably like 180. It's flipping, beaten down so hot at this point because you should be done. No one should be running at this point. The course is closed. So I'm running.
The course was not closed. You're so
It might
dramatic.
as well been. No one was out there.
You
So I
were.
get
We were
back
all
around.
waiting on you.
People people are leaving. Like the course is closed. Like people are leaving their bikes. They're pulling their bikes, the family.
They've opened the course back up to let cars drive through now because it was all shut down. You couldn't get
Yeah,
out.
that's how late I am. And I'm like, get out of the way. I'm not doing that. But they realize I'm still running. And they're like, oh, good job, buddy. Oh, good job. You can do it, man. Come on. I'm like, whatever. So at this point, the frustration starts to hit me, but I have sunglasses on. For the second time this day, I'm crying. I'm like not bawling, but I am like frustrating crying. That happened at like mile 12 on the bike. Full just crying,
Pity tears.
frustrated. Yes. And so by that time, I look up, there's the finish line, and I hear Solomon yell at me. I hear him from way down where y'all were. Come on, daddy. You can do it. You got to run faster. And I'm like, you're right, buddy. Let's do it. And so I picked it up a little bit, turned, came on in. Y'all were sitting there. It was the best thing in the world having y'all at the finish line, literally getting me to the finish line. Because if it was not for my kids, I don't know how I would have quit that bike. I would have quit that bike. But we teach them it is okay to do hard things. It's okay to fail at hard things, but you cannot quit. You can't give up. And so from mile 12 to mile 18, that was just replay in my head. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. It's okay. And sure enough, it was the greatest reward going across the finish line and having all of y'all there. I don't honestly remember really finishing it. I remember kind of walking around and then laying down, and then Solomon having about 9,000 questions for me. That's about it. But I mean, overall, it was a great experience. I loved doing it. Had a great time doing it. I will definitely ask for more help next time on all aspects. Learning that the hard way. And then I've had like two or three people now reach out to me. I was like, dude, you could have just borrowed my bike. I'm like, next time. I got you next time. I'm gonna, yeah. And so what really happened is what you think, because I was done.
Then now. So you get across the finish line and you terrible. Like absolutely a type of tired, exhausted. You look super
I really,
frustrated too. Like it was like very you
I
could
really
see.
think, I really think I was on the beginning stages of heat exhaustion
Really?
of how I felt on this, of what that bike did to me. Yeah, I felt like I was on the very early stages. Like if that had to been, so if you don't know, I did a sprint triathlon, which is a half mile swim, 18-mile bike, and a 5K run. If that would have been an Olympic triathlon or even like a half, I would have been, there's no way I would have finished. Like I would have been done.
Well, so what I was saying is as you cross, like I'm like something's bad wrong. Like this is not normal. I've seen you work out. I've seen you push your limits beyond your limit. I mean, I never thought that I could have seen you physically be pushed further than what I had already seen before this weekend. And it was kind of scary to see how you were so disoriented and so exhausted and overwhelmed and clearly frustrated. Like it was a weird fail, like an unexpected what just happened type situation. And so, you know, you're trying to recover. I'm trying to balance the kids, like excited to see you, but also like I'm concerned for you. And so anyway, so we let you I mean, and then all the people we know there are all like, what happened to Cody? That's not normal. Like something's going on. So everybody's just kind of side eyeing, giving distance because something's going on and it's very obvious. So you get to go relax for a little bit, try to catch your breath, try to get a little bit of nutrition. So finally, everyone's gone. There is 3 bikes left, and yours is one of them. So I go walk and get the vehicle, drive it around, go get your bike, and I'm going to go ahead and load up your bike. And I start walking your bike, and I'm like, something's wrong with the bike. And so I move all of the gears around, and I look, and one of your brakes is completely locked on your bike. Completely locked. And I felt this sense of like panic.
Do I tell him or do I not tell him?
Yes. It was one of those things I'm like, I can never tell him. I can never tell him. Like, he's going to be, for something that could have been so, not, I don't know, necessarily easily fixed, but like such a small, stupid mistake to have caused such a huge issue.
But that's the thing. Even out there, if I would have known that, I don't even know how to get that off. Like I wouldn't even have known how to really maneuver that.
I mean, the whole point is there was 138 other people that were riding bikes, and someone would have known what to do. You know, it's just so bizarre to see what the issue is and realize what happened. And so I go take your bike and I park it at the car, and I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, it's like you drove your 98 minivan with the emergency brake on. Technically, you can hit the gas and you can make it move, but anytime you take your foot off the gas, it's going to jerk stop because it's not meant to go. And so I was like looking and trying to figure out what was going on. And so I walked back over to where y'all are at, and I pack everything up and get the kids and get you, and we all start going to get in the car. And I'm like, I mean, I gotta tell him. He doesn't know what just happened. And so I feel like even for the first like 2 or 3 days after that, you were saying like something happened, I had a malfunction in my bike, I'm not really sure what it was. And then eventually after like 3 or 4 days, you said, I think that my brake was locked. I think it literally took you almost 72 hours to come to terms with, this was like the silliest, most ridiculous, most bizarre reason to have completely spoofed the entire bike portion of your race, which ended up bleeding into the run. Your run should have taken you like 26 or 27 minutes. And it took like
no, yeah.
Where were you shooting?
I was going for like 22 to 23. Like, yeah, for normal, I was like 22, 23. And
the run took 30.
And what's wild is, yeah,
like crazy.
to put it in perspective for everyone listening, my average speed was 12 miles an hour
on the bike.
Like, Solomon can go faster on a scooter.
Essentially, 12 miles an hour on the bike is
nothing. Roman can go 12 miles an hour on her princess bike.
12 miles an hour on their bike, just like on our street.
Yeah. So, yeah, my 98 minivan was putting up that thing, and
okay,
it was not good.
So now that you have had, Lord willing, your worst ever triathlon for your first ever triathlon, what do you think? Like, it's such a weird dichotomy of someone who is really fit, who likes to push themselves and do new things, and then to literally like fail in the worst way you've ever failed for athletics and sports. Like, how do you go forward from here? What do you think? How does that affect the way you train and the way you coach? And like, what does that do for your mentality?
Whew, yeah. Well, one, you just got to laugh. Like, you just got to have fun. At the end of the day, you've got to have fun with it. I'm not a professional at any means of any of this. I mean, I'm a self-taught swimmer. Like, by 20, people are going to laugh at 22 minutes, but I'm like, hey, like, I did it. We had fun. Like, it was a good time. Getting on the bike, I have no mechanics on a bike. I just went out there and just did it, having fun, riding with the boys. And they left me.
They left you behind. Hardcore. Not riding with the boys, trying to catch up to the boys.
Yeah. And then, running, like, and I've always told you this, like, in any of these avenues, I'm never the fastest, but I'm not the slowest. And so I'm always stuck in this middle ground, and I'm always by myself. And so, like, the past couple of years, I've like really started to try to run to like get to the to the back end of those fast people, not the super fast people, but like not have to run by myself. And like, so now I've got to do the same thing with swimming. Now I've got to do the same thing with biking. And I'm like, you're right. I've had one of the worst fails in this of like in your bike. Your bike is the longest piece of this. So if that sucks, you're gonna suck. And so at the end of the day, you just gotta laugh at yourself and move on and be able to tell people this story. Be like, hey, don't necessarily have to worry about all the flat tires in the world. Maybe check other things, like the very elementary things, like check your brakes, check your gears, check your chain, which, you know, a lot of good cyclists do anyways, but I'm not a cyclist. I just am a person that wanted to try something and I got humbled by a brake. Okay. At the time, super frustrating. Now, super hilarious. It's a great story to tell. My first triathlon. I mean, one of my buddies, his first triathlon, he rode 12 miles on a flat tire.
No, that's
Yeah.
insane.
Rode 12 miles on a flat tire. The same triathlon, rode 12 miles on a flat tire. He said sparks were just flying because the rim was just on the ground by the time he got there. And he went on to, you know, do Ironman in Hawaii. So
Yeah.
we all start somewhere. And it's just perspective of just having fun. It was a great experience. I mean, Shreveport Bossier did a great job. Like this triathlon used to be super big and it's kind of dwindled down a little bit. But I mean, if you know I'm healthy and we got time next year, I can't see myself not doing it. It's a great way to end summer. It's a great way to train during the summer. You get to run, you get in the pool, and you get on a bike. And it gave me honestly a mental break from doing my normal stuff of like really hitting weights hard, doing CrossFit. And it just gave me a mental break from that to go do other things. And now moving in probably for the next 9, 10 weeks into the holidays, I'm strictly back into CrossFit, having fun with the 515 group and going up there on Saturdays, having fun and, you know, cheering everybody on, having fun, see what they're doing. I know a lot of them are getting ready for the local CrossFit competition here in September. And so, yeah, it's kind of where we're at.
I think it's really cool. I know that the whole thing is frustrating and there's a lot of layers to it, but I really do think that it not just to toot your horn, but it's so cool to see athletes. I do not consider myself an athlete, clearly, obviously, but to see people who are athletes and they come up against something like hard, embarrassing, frustrating, fail, like a failure, a true failure, and to say, so that's what happens. Like, everyone has to deal with that. And then just be like, okay, well, I'm going to train for this now, or I'll go do this now, or okay, well, I'll just do it again. Like, it's no big deal. That is, I mean, I know that you live that mentality, and so that's so natural for you. But for me, I'm like, nah, at least I know what I'll never do again. Like, that wasn't fun. Let's not do that again, you know? And so it's really cool to see how you've just pushed through and been like, all right, that sucked. And also, such is life. No big deal.
See you again next year.
See you next year. Coming back. For sure. No, you have to redeem yourself. You have to at least go and not be dead last on the bike. Like, anything else after that, we'll figure out. Anyway, it's really.
Well, it's the same thing. My first half marathon going, my shoe blows out and my foot has a blister the size of my hand on the bottom of it.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, you literally talk about humiliating. You picked me up on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Talk about a did not finish. Literally had to call you and be like, hey, I can't really do this anymore. Can you come get me? You're like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? Well, my shoe blew out and I don't have any more shoes and there's a blister about the size of my hand on my foot.
Yeah, that was crazy. So yeah, we've seen some bumps in the road in the training world, in the racing world.
For sure.
Well, I think you did great. I think it's hilarious. Thank you for, everyone needed to know. Everyone's been asking me about your triathlon and I'm like, I don't have enough time to tell you the drama of this triathlon. So I'm so glad we recorded it here. Our kids still think you're like the greatest ever. Like, they don't even know. They're just like, Roman did say at one point we were waiting for you to come in on the bike. She said, yeah, I don't think Daddy's going to be the top 100. She had to like come to terms with it. Her daddy wasn't the very best out there. You know, like, it's like that pride in the little girl's heart that my dad is the best dad of all of them. I don't think Dad's going to be in the top one. I was like, that's okay though, right? We're okay with that. She's like, yeah, it's totally okay. Anyway, but seeing you come across that finish line, like they could not have been prouder that you were their guy. They didn't care what place you came in. And I'm like, okay, that totally counts for something.
That's all. That's all that matters right there.
Yay. All right. Well, you did a great job. That's all I have for you.
Thanks, girlfriend.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see you on the next one.
You thank you. I can't wait for the next one.
Peace.
Absolutely.